Have you ever wondered why some people stay active, happy, and healthy well into their 80s and even 90s, while others struggle to make it past 75? What if I told you that it's not just about genetics, but small, hidden habits in your daily life that quietly affect how long you live? Before we dive in, here's a little challenge. As you listen to this story, pick one factor that relates most to your own life and write that number in the comments. It helps you remember, and you might be surprised how many people feel the same way. Now, let's begin with a story. The story of Robert and Frank. Robert and Frank were childhood friends who grew up in the same small town. They went to the same school, ate the same food, and even worked at the same company for over 30 years. But as they entered their late 60s, their lives took two very different paths. Robert is now 78. He spends his mornings walking in the park, cooking healthy meals with his wife, and laughing with his grandkids every weekend. He still drives, reads the newspaper without glasses, and rarely visits the doctor. Frank, on the other hand, passed away at 72. He had heart problems, high blood pressure, and constant stress. He often said, "It's just bad luck. My father died young too." But was it really just luck, or were there hidden factors Frank didn't notice? This story isn't unique. Researchers have found that only about 1 in 4 people live beyond 80, and it's rarely about genetics alone. In fact, lifestyle habits account for nearly 70% of our longevity, according to studies from Harvard and the World Health Organization. So what are these surprising factors that quietly shorten life, and more importantly, what can you do to avoid them? Let's explore 6 key reasons through Robert and Frank's story, along with practical tips you can start today. Factor 1. Ignoring subtle signs of stress. Frank was always under pressure. Deadlines, bills, family issues. He thought stress was just part of life, something everyone deals with. But researchers from the Mayo Clinic found that chronic stress can accelerate aging at the cellular level, making your body older than your actual age. Robert, on the other hand, learned techniques to manage his stress. He practiced deep breathing, took short walks when he felt overwhelmed, and made time for hobbies like gardening. Practical tip. Try the 4-7-8 breathing method. Inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 7, and exhale for 8. Do this 3 times a day. Dedicate at least 10 minutes daily to something you enjoy: reading, painting, or listening to music. If you agree that stress is one of the biggest silent killers, write 1 in the comments. Factor 2. Poor sleep quality. Frank often bragged, "I only need 5 hours of sleep." But multiple studies from the National Sleep Foundation show that adults over 50 who consistently sleep less than 6 hours have a 40% higher risk of heart disease, stroke, and memory decline. Robert, however, treated sleep as sacred. He kept a consistent bedtime, avoided caffeine in the afternoon, and turned off his phone an hour before sleeping. As a result, his energy levels remained high even in his late 70s. Practical tip. Keep a regular sleep schedule, even on weekends. Avoid heavy meals and alcohol close to bedtime. Try creating a relaxing bedtime ritual: dim lights, soft music, or a warm shower. If you sometimes struggle with sleep like Frank, comment 2 below.
Factor 3. Skipping light physical activity. Many people believe you need to go to the gym to stay fit. That's not true. The real danger is sitting for too long. Researchers from Stanford University discovered that sedentary lifestyles can increase mortality risk by 30%, even if you eat healthy. Frank retired at 65 and spent most of his days watching TV. Robert, on the other hand, walked 30 minutes every morning and joined a local Tai Chi group twice a week. Practical tip. Walk at least 20 to 30 minutes a day. Practice light stretching every morning. If you sit for long periods, stand up and move every 30 minutes. If you agree that moving more is key to living longer, type 3 in the comments. Factor 4. Neglecting mental and social health. Did you know that loneliness can be as dangerous as smoking 15 cigarettes a day? That's according to a landmark study from Brigham Young University. After retiring, Frank isolated himself. He stopped meeting friends, avoided social events, and spent most of his time alone. Over time, his cognitive health declined, and symptoms of depression appeared. Robert, meanwhile, stayed connected. He joined a local book club, played chess at the park, and had weekly lunches with old colleagues. These social interactions not only kept his mood high, but also reduced his risk of dementia by nearly 30%, according to research from Harvard. Practical tip: call or visit a friend at least once a week. Join community activities or volunteer programs. Challenge your brain daily. Learn a language, solve puzzles, or read new topics. If you think staying connected is vital, comment 4 below.
Factor 5. Unbalanced nutrition and hidden deficiencies. Frank often skipped breakfast, ate processed snacks, and loved sugary drinks. He thought, "I've earned the right to enjoy my food," without realizing the damage it caused. His diet led to obesity, high cholesterol, and eventually, type 2 diabetes. Robert, in contrast, focused on balanced nutrition. He ate colorful vegetables, lean proteins, healthy fats, and whole grains. He wasn't perfect. He still enjoyed a slice of cake now and then, but moderation was his secret. Practical tip: aim for at least 5 servings of vegetables and fruits daily. Include omega-3 rich foods like salmon, walnuts, and flax seeds. Limit processed sugar and refined carbs as much as possible. If you think nutrition plays the biggest role in longevity, write 5 in the comments. Factor 6. Delaying health checkups and screenings. Frank avoided the doctor unless he was in pain. He thought annual checkups were unnecessary. Unfortunately, this meant his high blood pressure and early signs of heart disease went unnoticed until it was too late. Robert did the opposite. He scheduled regular checkups, monitored his blood pressure, and got his cholesterol tested. Early detection helped him manage potential health issues before they became life-threatening. Practical tip: get annual health screenings after age 50, including blood pressure, cholesterol, and blood sugar checks. Discuss any persistent symptoms with your doctor immediately. Don't ignore small changes in your body. They often signal bigger issues. If you believe prevention is better than cure, type 6 below. The big takeaway: Robert and Frank started in the same place, but their choices led them down very different paths. Genetics gave them a starting point, but lifestyle determined the outcome. Longevity isn't about perfection. It's about small, consistent habits, managing stress, prioritizing sleep, staying active, nurturing relationships, eating well, and keeping up with health checkups. If you're over 50, the good news is that it's never too late to start. Researchers at Harvard found that people who adopt healthy habits, even at 60, can add up to 10 extra years to their lives. So which of these 6 factors speaks to you the most? Pick your number and leave it in the comments. And if you want more tips about healthy aging and longevity, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next episode. Your future self will thank you.